All right, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to 12 Tips to Improve Your Dermaplaning Technique with Advanced Aesthetic Training. In today's workshop, we're going to discuss 12 tips and tricks to refine and improve your dermaplaning treatments. The techniques that you'll learn here today can be implemented immediately for instant results. So if you're in this class today, it's evident that you want to provide the best possible treatment outcome for your clients, and that is awesome. Give me just a minute here to check my chat box. Okay. So I encourage you to practice the tips and techniques that we're going to speak about today to see the difference it can make in your treatments. Even one minor adjustment can have a significant impact on your entire treatment. Success depends largely on your willingness to grow and develop new skills. And make sure to stick around for the entire workshop because I have an incredible offer for you at the end that could impact your business. So please turn on your camera and turn off your microphone. Feel free to type any questions that you may have in the chat box and raise your hand if you have a question. I'm not going to call on you unless you raise your hand. So my name is Carly Walters, and I've 23 years of industry experience. I've been dermaplaning for 20 years and teaching dermaplaning for a little over 12 years now all over the country. I'm the founder and director of education at Advanced Aesthetic Training, where we have numerous dermaplaning classes to accommodate each and every skill level, and we also sell dermaplaning supplies. So my goal for today's workshop is to teach you techniques to extract more value out of each treatment. I'm going to give you some actionable skills so that you can increase client retention and revenue, as well as hopefully gain a competitive edge. All right, before we get started, I wanted to introduce you to our sponsor, Lumos Dermaplane. They're going to be giving away a free device for one of our attendees. We're going to be doing an old-fashioned raffle style drawing, so that should be fun. Lumos Dermaplane is an innovative dermaplaning blade handle that lights up on the end, illuminating the area that you're dermaplaning. It provides enhanced visualization of fine vellus hair, subtle skin irregularities, and fine lines. It's lightweight and easy to use. The round design has a wide grip, making it ergonomically correct. Here it is. You just turn the end and it lights up, providing precision and accuracy when dermaplaning the vellus hair, fine lines, and irregular facial contours. So you can see that it provides enhanced visualization so that you avoid accidentally nicking your client. The battery pack comes in and out easily for proper sanitation and sterilization. It just kind of screws in and screws out. This is a really great tool to have at your disposal. The Lumos Dermaplane is under $200, but they've put together an exclusive offer just for us. When you order your device and use coupon code Dermaplane VIP, you're going to receive 20% off. And if you place your order this week, they're going to send you a free battery pack as well. So you'll get your $20 off coupon with your Dermaplane VIP code and a free battery pack with 8 cartridges valued at about $60. So the total product package is valued at around $260, but your cost will be $180 just for being a part of this workshop and ordering this week. So I'm going to include a Lumos product demonstration video for you guys when I send a copy of today's workshop replay. So let's go ahead and get started with the workshop. You just go back to the chat box here. So who here is offering dermaplaning already? Can I see a show of hands? All right, how about those who are not? Do we have any new dermaplaners or people who are not currently offering dermaplaning? Okay. I'd say most of us have a little bit of experience. In just a second, I'm having some technical difficulties. Technology and I don't get along very well. All right. So tip number 1, apply appropriate pressure. So the areas on the skin with less subcutaneous tissue, such as the nose, are going to require less pressure, while areas with heavy subcutaneous tissue, such as the cheeks, will require more pressure. Pressure is applied in 2 ways: pressure while bracing the hand and pressure on the client's skin. Sorry, the blade pressure on the client's skin. Your bracing pressure should be firm but light on the skin. You should be using just enough downward pressure to keep your fingers from sliding while the skin is being held taut. If you're using too much downward pressure, the skin won't lay flat, and you'll notice a slight bulging around the fingers that you're using to brace with. So the rule of thumb with blade pressure is to always use the lightest amount of pressure possible that yields the best possible results. What works and what's comfortable can vary by client. You should notice vellus hair and skin cells easily coming off the face with no blanching under the blade. A little bit of redness can be normal depending on skin type and sensitivity. So I found that medium to light pressure is best for maintaining a consistent blade contact with the skin. If your pressure is too light, the blade won't stay in contact with the skin, which won't provide good treatment results and can be uncomfortable for the client. Too much pressure can cause irritation, inflammation, and discomfort for your client. So more blade pressure absolutely does not mean better results. It can lead to pigmentation issues, redness, swelling, breakouts, and a rough skin texture. So make sure to ask your client for feedback. Tell her she should feel a scraping sensation, but no discomfort, and adjust your treatment to her comfort level. Does that resonate with you? Okay. So tip number 2 is use proper tension. We want to apply what is called cross fiber tension. This is done by holding the skin taut and working between the fingers. For example, if you're holding the skin between 2 fingers vertically, make sure that you're dermaplaning vertically. If you're holding the skin taut between 2 fingers horizontally, then work horizontally. Do not hold the skin vertically, then dermaplane horizontally. Improper tension can lead to nicks and marks across the client's skin. So try to work within, say, a 1/2 to a 1.5 inch space between your thumb and your index finger. Draw your fingers apart, pressing down just enough to keep your blade from sliding. The skin should look taut and flat. When you apply too much pressure downward, it will cause a bulge around the fingers, which we don't want because flat surfaces are much easier to dermaplane than a curved surface. You'll know you have enough tension because the skin won't move with the blade. The blade should glide over the skin, easily removing vellus hair and dead skin cells. Tip number 3, dull dermaplaning blades. If you feel that your blade is dull, check your technique. If you're not holding your instrument at the correct angle, you won't be able to remove the hair and skin cells effectively. Now, this will lead you to believe that you're working with a dull blade. So make sure that you're holding the blade at the correct 45-degree angle. One of the most common issues I see when estheticians think that they're working with a dull blade is actually not the blade at all, it's the angle that the blade is being held. So 45 degrees is the correct angle to use during a dermaplaning treatment. Anything slightly off and you're not going to achieve the desired results. Another issue can be tension, so make sure that you're holding the skin taut. If you're using a blade that's poor quality, the chances are that it will dull really fast, and multiple blades may have to be used for each treatment. A good quality blade, such as the blades sold at Advanced Aesthetic Training, should last through the entire dermaplaning treatment without becoming dull or preventing the vellus hair from being removed. Only one blade should be needed per treatment. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Has anybody experienced this? One of us? Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Tip number 4, excessive vellus hair. The more vellus hair your client has on their skin, the tighter you should hold the skin while working. It also helps to work in smaller sections. This will help you to get under the hair as well as make your clients more comfortable. These particular individuals can experience some discomfort during the treatment. For this particular issue, it's necessary for your blade to be extremely sharp. Quality always matters and makes a huge impact on your dermaplaning treatment outcome, regardless of the shape, size, or manufacturer. So quality can vary in sharpness and durability from manufacturer to manufacturer, and as a result, more than one blade may have to be used. But poor quality always leads to poor treatment outcome. So purchasing your dermaplaning supplies from only a reputable source ensures that your blades and tools are authentic, professional quality, and individually sealed and sterile for your peace of mind, as well as protection. Beware of inexpensive imitations that are poor quality and will affect your treatment outcome or worse, cause injury to your client. This, unfortunately, has started to become a really big and common issue in our industry. So tip number 5, work with the hair growth. Working against the hair growth on the first pass can cause irritation to the hair follicle in some clients. This can be an issue causing potential irritation or breakout. The first pass should always be with the hair growth to avoid this issue. And you're going to notice this is especially true for your more sensitive and acne-prone clients. Tip number 6, avoid inflammation. More passes over the skin is not always better. When you do multiple passes over a troubled area that you just can't seem to remove all that hair, you can cause an abrasion that may not be visible immediately after the treatment, but can appear about 2 to 3 days post-treatment. This can lead to a wide array of potential difficulties, including, but certainly not limited to, pigmentation irregularities that may not be reversible. So 2 to 3 passes, depending on skin type and sensitivity, that is sufficient. Keep in mind that as you're working along the skin, you're always overlapping each pass slightly for an even exfoliation. So your first pass is going to remove the hair as well as some skin cells, and your second pass will remove the dead skin. Now, we all have that client that comes in that you could do like 10 passes on and still get dead skin cells off. I know this can be tempting, but it's important to refrain. Have them come back in 4 weeks and repeat the treatment. It's always really important with not only dermaplaning, but all of your treatments to weigh risks versus liability. All right, let's get a few shares. Raise your hand if you'd like to share. Anybody want to share? Okay.
I don't mind sharing. I just can't find the button to raise my hand.
Oh, oh, go ahead, Denise. We'd love to hear from you.
So I learned how to dermaplane, I guess probably about 4 years ago, the first time. And I was taught to dermaplane dry. And then last year I took the dermaplane pro class where we dermaplane with oil. And I really didn't think I was going to like it, but I actually liked it.
Yeah.
Like for me, it worked better. I've not had, in either case, I've only had one issue where I cut someone on her forehead. And I think for me, it was a pressure issue. And it was like a paper cut. It didn't bleed or anything, but still I felt terrible.
Yeah, usually they are.
But that's all.
And I'm sorry?
No, that was all I wanted to say.
Yeah, some of the time they won't even notice if you nick them like that. You just keep going with the treatment and they don't even notice.
Yeah,
It's just a little pinching sensation.
right.
I've been nicked plenty of times.
Mhm.
Anybody else?
I have a question. Denise, you
Sure.
mentioned about oil. What type of oil did you use when you when you
Well, Dermaplane Pro has their own oil and their own products that you use with it. It's like in a kit. It's called Nourish. And it was like literally the tiniest amount of oil. It's like one or two pumps, and you just put it all over the client's face, and then you just use it. You know, you just dermaplane. I think well, I don't think I know. They have a face map that they provide. And I'm a lefty, so mine was different from the rest of the class, but it, was just it was different from the first time I learned. In that first time I learned, I was seated. The second time I learned, I was standing. And so
Mhm.
just both of them were very different, but I felt like
Yeah.
for me, it's an easier service to do than, or maybe I just enjoy it more than other.
Well, I recommend standing when you're doing the chin area. When you start to get to the lower areas of the face, that's when you want to stand up. That's when most people have not only issues, but issues with troubles getting into that tight area and
Mhm.
issues with nicking. So when you get down to the lower part, try standing up and see the difference that it can make in your treatment. Personally, I always dermaplane dry. I think it's important when you start to learn how to understand the feedback that you're getting from the skin. Um, I feel that dermaplaning with oil is a little bit more of an advanced treatment because it's really important that you get comfortable with what's going on in real time with the skin first.
So how do you, and maybe I'm jumping ahead here, you can shut me up if I am. What about the people that come in to see you that have like actinic keratosis? Do you?
Actinic keratosis.
Yeah.
We want to be really careful on anything that has a stuck-on appearance. So
Mhm.
anything that looks like it's been picked up and put right onto the skin.
Right.
Anything that has edges, things like that, because you can kind of snag your blade underneath.
Right.
So for actinic keratosis, which is like a precancerous lesion, you want
Mhm.
to avoid that area entirely.
Right.
Now, seborrheic keratosis, those you can dermaplane over, and that's okay,
Okay.
as long as you don't snag your edge. You just have to be very, very cautious.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I have a couple other questions here I'm going to address. Um, Terminal hair, we don't recommend dermaplaning over terminal hair. What I usually do or recommend that you do with those types of clients is pluck the hair and then go ahead and do the dermaplaning. The terminal hair, it's uncomfortable, it can dull your blade, and just doesn't work out well for the dermaplaning treatment. So go ahead and pluck them first. You can also upsell them if you do laser uh, to get some laser hair removal services or electrolysis. Now, that's a great question about texture issues or very deep wrinkles. To address those problems with dermaplaning, you're going to add a peel. So once you start adding a chemical peel on top of dermaplaning, that peel then penetrates faster and deeper into the skin, and it becomes much stronger. So it's almost like your spa peel will become a clinical peel, and that will address deeper issues than the superficial terminal hair and the superficial layer of skin. All right. So if you like this so far, we're barely scratching the surface of what you learn in the advanced dermaplaning techniques class. And I have a special offer for you at the end, so stick around. Tip number 7. Appropriate speed. Using appropriate speed while dermaplaning. Dermaplaning faster is not better. It's important that your client feels that they're getting the most out of their time with you. Dermaplaning too quickly can agitate your client and inhibit her ability to relax. And client experience is one of the main reasons they rebook. I understand that we have a limited amount of time allotted for each treatment, but there are many, many ways to use time more efficiently. Dermaplaning quickly should not be one of them. When you dermaplane too fast, it creates friction on the skin, which consequently results in heat and inflammation. That can cause an abrasion, reaction, or another post-treatment issue. Dermaplaning too slowly can be annoying for the client, and it can lead them to question your ability and skill set. So slow is not necessarily better either. I recommend when you start your procedure to start slowly, then gradually increase the speed until you find a medium-paced, steady rhythm. Tip number 8, monitor your blade angle. Now, this is probably one of the most common issues I see with estheticians learning to dermaplane, as well as my more seasoned estheticians who have developed bad habits. So monitor your blade angle as you work along the curvatures of the face. The most effective and correct blade angle is your 45 degrees, and you're going to get the best results when you hold the blade at 45 degrees. You'll need to adjust your angle as you're working to accommodate the varying contours of the face. I see quite a few estheticians holding their blade at 90 degrees. This results in very little exfoliation and can result in a potential injury. Very little hair and skin is going to be removed when you hold the blade at this angle, and you're really just kind of scratching the skin. So I have a little exercise for you. Just for fun, try dermaplaning your leg at a 90-degree angle and then compare it to a 45-degree angle to see the difference that it can make in exfoliation. So the most effective angle for dermaplaning is the 45 degrees, and you're going to get the best results by using this angle. Again, there are many curvatures on the face, and it's important to remember to constantly adjust your angle as you work along these curvatures. A 45-degree angle is also the safest angle to use while dermaplaning. And it can feel more natural to hold the blade parallel to the skin or even straight up and down at a 90-degree angle, but these angles can result in a potential nick or an abrasion. So keep in mind that surgeons hold their blades straight up and down to cut the skin, and fishermen hold their blades almost parallel to fillet a fish. Does that make sense? Let me just address something in the chat box here. That's a good question. I'm not really sure. Can you elaborate on that, Veronica? Okay. Well, we'll wait for Veronica to elaborate on her question, and we'll go back. Tip number 9, balance compression and tension. So keep your compression, which is how much downward pressure you're putting on the skin while bracing, and tension, which is keeping the skin taut between your thumb and your index finger in balance. The skin should lay flat between the fingers. If too much downward pressure is applied, the skin will bulge around the fingers. So remember that flat surfaces are easier to dermaplane than curved surfaces. Tip number 10, hold your blade handle properly. The dermaplaning blade should be held from above as shown. This is known as the palmar grip, and it's the correct way to hold your blade handle to execute a proper dermaplaning treatment. Holding the blade this way makes a difference in the treatment outcome and in safety. So holding your blade handle properly is really important because it ensures that you have complete control over your treatment and you're able to see where you're going. It also allows you to use pressure on the correct part of the blade, resulting in an even exfoliation. And it's ergonomically correct and comfortable. So never hold your dermaplaning handle from underneath or like a pencil. This is incorrect and can result in the inability to keep the blade at a 45-degree angle or to have full control over the blade. When I say from underneath, I mean like this. The palmar grip is from above like this. Was anybody experienced this? Nope. Okay, let's move on to tip number 11, combining physical exfoliation treatments. Do not combine a physical exfoliation treatment with another physical exfoliation treatment. Not only is this pointless, but it can be harmful to your client's skin. Physical exfoliation treatments work by just bumping off the epithelial tissue or the dead skin cells. And it's only possible to go so deep because there's only one layer of dead skin cells. Once you've removed these cells, they're gone. By using another physical modality over freshly dermaplaned skin, such as microdermabrasion or a scrub, you can cause damage, scratching, and irritation. Now, the exception to this rule would be to cut your passes in half. For example, one pass with the dermaplaning and one pass with your microdermabrasion machine. This will give you the benefits of both treatments without compromising the skin. Okay. Tip number 12, combining physical and chemical exfoliation treatments. When you're combining physical and chemical exfoliation treatments together, the mechanical or physical modality is done first, allowing the chemical exfoliation solution, such as a peel, to penetrate deeper and work more effectively. The use of a chemical exfoliation solution before dermaplaning can cause a great deal of damage to the skin, and proper training on the subject is highly recommended. Dermaplaning prior to a chemical peel is a great way to prep the skin for a deeper and more even peel. If the client's new to your skincare practice, it's always best to proceed with caution. Get to know her skin and how she reacts to each treatment separately before you combine them, even if she tells you that she's had this treatment done before. By proceeding this way, it will allow you to test her sensitivity to dermaplaning as well as chemical peels. A dermaplaning treatment is a great first treatment on its own. This by itself keeps clients coming back monthly. So send her home with a glycolic-based skincare product to prep the skin and schedule her chemical peel appointment for about 4 weeks later. This will give you ample time to see how she reacts to a low-potency glycolic before proceeding with the peel. Once you've established a baseline for each treatment, the dermaplaning treatment and the chemical peel treatment separately, they may be combined. You'll notice that following a dermaplaning, the chemical peel solution will penetrate the skin faster and deeper. I always recommend starting with a lactic acid peel because the molecules are much bigger and therefore they penetrate the skin slower than, say, a glycolic acid. So because the client's sensitivity to the peeling solution is increased, it will require much less time on the skin. Be prepared to neutralize sooner. Due to increased penetration, the client may experience more peeling than with prior chemical peels of the same strength by itself. So be sure to use the 1 to 10 discomfort scale and watch for any frosting. So always follow up with your clients after each treatment to check for any issues, unexpected reactions, amount of peeling, redness, and overall treatment satisfaction. Answer any questions she may have and assure her that you're available if she needs anything at all. Your more sensitive clients are going to benefit more by alternating chemical peels and dermaplaning like every other month rather than combining them. Alternating chemical peels with dermaplaning treatments that include enzyme peels will allow your clients to have a more enjoyable experience and receive the cumulative benefits of both anti-aging procedures. Who here uses chemical peels with dermaplaning currently? No? Just give me 1
I do.
minute. Oh, you do, Denise?
It's
Do you have
Maury.
a particular pardon?
It's Maury.
Maury. Okay. Do you have a
Yeah.
particular treatment that you absolutely love that you'd like to share?
I use BioRepeal, which is a TCA,
Okay, yeah.
and I use Lyra Clinical. As long as they're all preconditioned and just go step by step, I never have a problem. But the dermaplaning makes such a big difference because it allows everything to penetrate, better.
Yeah, yeah, it makes a big difference.
I do too. I use a chemical peel.
Would you like to share with the class and a particular
Sure.
product?
So I do use I work with Zeo Skin Health. So I'll do the stimulator peel, which is a really mild peel, or I also have the Happy Peel from Dermaplane Pro. So I'll use that as well.
Very good.
One or the other.
Okay, let me just address these questions in the chat box. Does everyone include the nose? I don't unless I feel comfortable. That's a good question. It's really important to address the nose. The nose is a problem area for a lot of clients. And they don't feel like their treatment's been complete until you would address their nose. There's always a lot of congestion. So yeah, always do the nose. It can be really uncomfortable when you're learning. Just remember to utilize the blade's angles to your advantage while working in those hard to reach areas. So if you're using, say, a number 10 blade, really utilize the angles in the first quarter of the blade to your advantage. And it's not as direction oriented on the nose as it is on the rest of the face. So feel free to change your angle and change your direction to your comfort level, as well as move your body. A lot of estheticians will stay behind the table, and that's fine. But if you're having a difficult time, don't hesitate to move your chair to the side of the table so you can access that area. All right. So what was your biggest takeaway so far from these tips? Who wants to share? Anybody? What was one thing that you learned?
The thing that stood out the most for me was the combining of the physical exfoliation, because I was always kind of confused about that. I kind of figured that you shouldn't do it, but the clarification on that part.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part of your question.
Oh, I was just saying the clarification on that part. I was confused about, com combining the two. I figured, just from education that you shouldn't do it, but it was good to get that clarification.
Good, good. Thank you for sharing. It's really a chemical peel with a dermaplaning treatment is really a nice treatment because you get the benefits of both the physical and the chemical exfoliation. And if you're uncomfortable, start with an enzyme. That's a great place to start. Always start with an enzyme. Can you unmute yourself, Ms. Hines?
Yes.
Did you want to share with the class?
Well, I thought the part about how oil is advanced, I always see it as I like to use oil with more sensitive types to reduce friction potential, but it's different how you explained it.
It's just a different thought process. That's all. I'm a dry dermaplaner. I have nothing against oil, but I like to dermaplane dry.
Do you think it's probably a safer option for more sensitive types, or is there no difference?
I don't think there should be a difference. The difference lays in the skill set of the esthetician. It takes a lot of practice to get comfortable with dermaplaning, as well as learn the feel of the skin.
I guess I'm trying to figure out if I should even incorporate it or not, and when I would use oil and when I wouldn't. I'm trying to figure out, the differentiation between each approach and what would be the appropriate client.
The sensitive skin clients are the good ones to incorporate oil with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You don't get quite as much of a treatment as you do with dry dermaplaning. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't particularly like it. But again, that's just my opinion. I know it's a very popular treatment.
I agree. I think that I use it more as a precaution for more sensitive types, just because there's a smoother, I guess, a easier glide. And so I feel like I'm taking less risk with a
Yeah,
sensitive. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do. I know exactly what you're saying. I think that's good.
Maybe that's how I'll continue, but I do prefer dry. I agree.
Right, Savannah, did you want to go ahead and ask your question?
I just liked what you said about like the doctors hold the knife to cut, the fishermen hold the knife to like skin. And so like I hold pencils. I'm like notoriously weird about the way I hold like pencils and pens. And so anytime I'm holding the dermaplane blade, I always am like hoping I'm doing it right. And like just you putting it into words really made a lot of sense. So I appreciate that.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great, Savannah. Anybody else? I think we've got everybody so far. Anita? You have to unmute yourself.
Hi. Yeah. I was also interested in how you described, I didn't bring my dermaplaning tools with me. I should have done that, but I'm at home now. And I think what you're saying with the grip, can you show again how the best way it is? So you come over on top like this. I
Yeah.
think I've been doing that. I'm not absolutely sure. But yeah, it's just like that. Okay.
Yeah, just like that. The Palmar grip, it's called.
What is it called?
The Palmar grip. Palmar. Palmar.
Palmar. Okay, like the palm of the hand.
Yeah.
Thank
Right,
you.
thanks for sharing.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome. Okay. All right. So what we've covered so far is just scratching the surface of what's in my advanced class. It's literally one page out of the manual. Today we've discussed 12 tips that will help you to extract more value out of each treatment so that you can provide optimal client results. I've given you some actionable techniques that will improve your treatment outcomes so that you have a competitive edge. We did not cover the foundational understanding of dermaplaning treatments needed to achieve mastery over the practical skills required to perform the service, or how to expand your repertoire with new, innovative, or advanced dermaplaning procedures and protocols, or how to leverage your dermaplaning treatments to make more money, which is ultimately what you need to grow your business. Do you guys mind if I show you how you can make your skincare practice more profitable by leveraging your dermaplaning treatments? Type in the chat box if you'd like me to discuss that. Hands. Yes. All right. Let me introduce you to the Advanced Dermaplaning Techniques online class. This is the first and only class available for experienced dermaplaning practitioners. You're going to gain the knowledge and the practical skills you need to elevate beyond your peers and skyrocket your professional value. So you're going to learn how to maximize your stream of revenue by offering add-on service, specialty treatments, advanced protocols, as well as some new techniques. So on average, you're probably charging about $100 per dermaplaning treatment, give or take. You should be able to charge about $150 with add-on treatments. That means you get an additional $50 profit per client visit. And if you sell just one per day or 30 per month, you're going to net an additional $1,500 a month. And across 12 months, that will be an additional $18,000. This is why the Advanced Dermaplaning Techniques class is so important. So inside of the course, you're going to learn new ways to incorporate dermaplaning into your practice. You're going to learn how to perform specialty and add-on treatments to book more services. You're going to design advanced protocols for every skin type so you can increase your service value. You're also going to learn to master difficult areas to boost your confidence, and you'll refine your technique to achieve the best possible results. You're also going to increase your revenue and put more money in your pocket immediately. And we give a review of the basic dermaplaning procedure to eliminate any confusion. And you'll learn some actionable marketing techniques to help grow your business. So within hours, you can be selling upgraded services to your clients and become more profitable. This is a one-time investment to profit every day. There's no need to invest in expensive new equipment. Profit from your existing clientele and increase referrals. Some more course features that we think you'll love are our user-friendly course format. You're going to receive lifetime access. You get a certificate of completion. You're also going to get access to our Facebook community, as well as ongoing support. All of our classes come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you're going to get instant access to the course material. So all of this is inside the Advanced Dermaplaning Techniques online class, and it is valued at $400. This is already an exceptional deal with a huge return on investment, but I like to over-deliver, so I have something else for you. Bonus number 1 is your Advanced Dermaplaning Techniques manual. This is going to provide you with easy-to-access class information right at your fingertips when you need it, and it's valued at $150. I also wanted to provide you with something important that you may need for your business. Bonus number 2 is your client intake form and your dermaplaning consent form. These forms help establish trust in the practitioner while respecting the autonomy of the client. They're legal documents that help prevent any misunderstandings, lapses in communication, and address any liability issues before they happen. And they're valued at $75. So the Advanced Dermaplaning Techniques online class comes with your coursework, which is valued at $400. Your bonus number 1, the Advanced Dermaplaning Techniques manual, and that's valued at $150. And bonus number 2 is your client intake form and dermaplaning consent form, valued at $75. So the total value is $625, but there is more. Bonus number 3 is a promotional flyer so you can catch your customer's attention quickly. It's an advertising piece that describes all of the amazing benefits that dermaplaning treatments provide, and it's valued at $50. Bonus number 4 is your post-care handout. Aftercare handouts are really an important part of ensuring client satisfaction and maintaining a positive professional relationship. If you're not handing these out from a marketing perspective, you absolutely should be. So they are both valued at $50. It's $100. This is a one-time investment for a lifetime of profit, and I wanted to give you my favorite thing as well, which is an ebook. Reasons your client breaks out after dermaplaning and what you can do about it. And it's valued at $125. So with the Advanced Dermaplaning Techniques class, you're getting everything here, and it's valued at over $800, actually over $800. So how much is this investment in your career worth? $600? $400? You get everything here, your coursework, your manual, your intake form, your consent form, your promotional flyer, as well as post-care handouts and your ebook, which is valued at over $800 for just $197 today. But to make things a little easier for you, I have one final bonus. I have a special coupon code for an additional $50 off the $197 sale price. It's on sale right now. If you use coupon code ADVANCED, your total price will be $147 for the course and all the bonuses, but there is a catch. We're only going to run this sale for 3 more days. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to post a link in the chat box. Here we go. So go ahead and click on the link that I posted. Scroll down and click Unlock the Advanced Dermaplaning Techniques class. And from there, you're just going to complete your registration and you'll receive instant access to your class, as well as all of the bonuses. I'll give you a couple of minutes to click the link in the chat box before we move on to our question and answer session. So worst case scenario, when you enroll in my programs, you're going to refine your treatments, expand your knowledge, optimize treatment efficacy, and you also add new services to your portfolio. The best case scenario, when you enroll in my programs, you're going to skyrocket your professional value, elevate your dermaplaning treatments far beyond your competition, and you're going to learn new innovative services to leverage your treatments and make even more money dermaplaning. So imagine exceeding your sales goals this year without the hassle or the cost of new client acquisition or new equipment. All right. Does anybody have any questions?
I do. I wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on using like a Soluma light after you do a dermaplaning treatment?
I think it makes a nice treatment. I like it.
Okay.
I think clients really like it too.
Okay, thank you.
How do you choose the blade you use? That's a fantastic question. I'm actually doing a video series right now in our Facebook group. The first video I posted, the training video, is called How to Choose a Dermaplaning Blade. And then I go on to review each blade, the benefits and drawbacks of each one. So really, at the end of the day, it's about personal preference. As long as you're using a good quality blade, manufacturer doesn't matter, or size doesn't matter so much, as long as it's good quality. You have to kind of play with them and pick the one that is best suited for your facial style. Now, charge for dermaplaning. I have a question here about recommended charge for dermaplaning. You really want to price out your area, like call around, find out who and what your competition is doing and what they're offering, how much they're charging. I usually recommend pricing it in the ballpark of microdermabrasion. And I always allow 45 minutes to an hour for a treatment because it's important that your client feels that they're getting the most out of their time with you. After you've been dermaplaning for a while, you can probably like bang out a procedure in 10 minutes if you wanted to, but it's important that the client really feel that they're getting the most value out of the money that they're spending on their treatment. Yes, we do offer a blade with a blunted tip for sale on our webpage. That would be, I think that you're talking about the 10R blade, the rounded tip when you say blunt. Yeah. Yep. Anybody else want to share or have a question? You're welcome.
I do. I offer a lot of facial massage, like face sculpting and washa, can I do the dermaplaning first and then offer that afterwards, or how does that work?
I always recommend doing dermaplaning first before you go into any of your facial or facial type of treatments. So yeah,
Okay.
that would be a nice treatment, and I would recommend doing it first.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Mars, did you want to share? Oh, you just did. I'm sorry.
I did. It was that question regarding the facial sculpting.
Okay, that would, yeah,
Yeah.
the things come up so fast in the chat box, and I'm not
It's
really tech savvy, you know, it's just flying by
yeah,
me.
it's okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, if nobody has any questions, we can go. We're done. And if you think of
Thank
anything, or if
you.
anything comes up, you're more than welcome to send me a note through email or on Facebook.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was great.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's a great question about this class being beneficial for a beginner. Not really, because it's about refining your technique. So if they're not currently offering dermaplaning, they won't have a technique to refine. Now, if they're just getting started, if they just learned how to dermaplane, then yeah, it would probably be beneficial for them to attend. Okay, I will be sending out a copy of the replay for you guys to watch. Bye for now.